Hi everyone, it's me, Krylios, Team Rayceen Productions and producer. And of course, welcome to our first YouTube live for today. And joining me today by my side, of course, is the one and the only Rayceen Pendarvis. Hey Rayceen.
How are you? Greetings and salutations, everyone.
Yes, so great to be here today on this beautiful Wednesday morning. The sun is shining, I am living, it is working, and we are live. And we have our wonderful guest today from Seabury Resources. We have CEO Don Quattlebaum. Welcome, Don, to our YouTube live. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate this.
Thank you. It's a pleasure having you here. Wonderful pleasure. And explain your role in at Seabury and give us a little bit of background about Seabury for those who may not know.
All righty. Well, I was just promoted to the Chief Executive Officer's position in
Mm.
August.
Wow,
And I have,
congratulations.
thank you so much. I'm very, very happy to be able to say that I am standing on the shoulders of my maternal grandmother and my parents, because they are the ones that taught me how to work with older people, how to live with them, how to have fun with them, and how to age gracefully and with dignity. And so to reach this pinnacle, my parents are departed, but I know that they're smiling down at me because I'm just really fulfilling a family legacy. We have always been in the service business. We have always volunteered. We've always given back to our community. And so really it's my personal mission to do that. So I've been with Seabury for 31 years. And yes, it's a wonderful feeling. It's
You
a
started
mission.
right out of high school.
Absolutely.
I
One,
love it.
absolutely. And so I started out with the Friendship Terrace Retirement Community. I was the assistant administrator and then the administrator there. And then I left just for a brief moment, like 3 weeks. And the executive director said, he said, no, 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 we need you back. And so then I started working in the Ward 5 section with our social service agency there, Seabury Ward 5. I was then promoted to the chief program officer and the chief operating officer. And then our CEO just recently left for another position, and the board selected me for this position. And I'm just so honored and grateful. And we have such wonderful employees. So it's a very nice place to be in. Even during the pandemic, even during COVID, we are doing well.
And that's important. And you talk about COVID and the importance, and many of us who are lucky enough to have our parents or our grandparents still in our lives, or elderly loved ones, aunts and uncles that we are taking care of. It is so hard for many of us who are not able to do the daily um, interaction with those loved ones. And then those who are in facilities such as yours, how's your facility handling incorporating family visitation or making schedules for family members to come, or are they doing Zoom calls, or explain that?
All of that. I tell you, we pivoted overnight and we closed the doors of our senior housing communities so that we could not have visitors. And I'm just so proud of our staff. We have 104 employees. We also have contractors and lots of volunteers. And we went virtual. So just like you said, we have Zoom meetings. We have those who don't want to be dealing with the internet at all, and that's all right. So we have to meet them where they are. And so we mail packets out of activities, and we have things from yoga. We've had live entertainment, cooking classes, bingo, educational sessions. All of our programs across the Seabury spectrum have done that. We're starting to open outside areas of our senior housing communities. And we're also starting some in-person visits with our care managers and our case managers, our social workers, because combating social isolation is extremely important. That's one of the things that we work on. That is part of our mission. And so we're slowly but safely doing that as well. But you are right, having that connection is important. So who would have thought that this is how you and I, the three of us are talking, right?
Yes, yes,
But
of
it's nice
course.
to be able to see one another. And that's why the Zoom and the other platforms are very important. But we use conference calls as well, any method in order to continue our connection with our clients and our residents.
Awesome, awesome. Tell me, well, having to learn how to pivot this year and adapting to the changes of this year, how are you using what you've learned this year to prepare for the future for 2021 and beyond? What are some of the challenges that you expect to face, and some of the achievements that you look forward to
Mhm.
to garnering as the years roll by?
So I start with challenges in that we would like more and more people to have internet access. That will help us along. Eventually, we will get through this together, as everyone says. But we're going to continue a hybrid because we're reaching so many more people. We pivoted in terms of transporting up to 500 meals a day. Our transportation service is doing that. So we will hopefully be able to open our community dining sites, our senior wellness center in Ward 5 model cities, in person, as I said, with case management, care management, and our nutritionists. But we're still going to have some virtual activities. But getting more people onto internet would be good in order to give them access. We did through a grant, and we've received several grants during this COVID period, but able to provide some iPads to one of our senior housing communities, and that has helped those residents to connect with the staff there and with their loved ones and their family members and their friends. Funding is important, and you know that we have a website, seaburyresources.org, SEABURY resources.org, in order to donate for our mission, in order to continue this journey, or to volunteer. We have lots of volunteers. We're going to continue to need volunteers. We've resumed our age in place program that provides right now yard only maintenance to older adults in wards 4, 5, and 6. So we will continue our housing programs, our social services, our transportation, care management, case management. We also have an LGBTQ group and advisory council, and they had a wonderful movie screening with Monique and her producer husband, Blackbird. I watched it that night with them. It was wonderful. So we're going to have to continue to do that because we want to increase our connection and to reach out to those who may still be isolated.
That's wonderful. That is so important. I was telling him early when we were talking prior, doing the pre-interview, I was
Yes.
saying the wonderful, all these amazing services that your program provides and how it really stimulates the minds of
Yes.
so many of our seniors who have become very isolated. And
Mhm.
because of those isolations, when they're in places that are stimulating through music, through art therapy, through interaction, just the ability to sit and talk with others who are experiencing
That's right.
being a certain age and the maturity that
Yes.
comes with that. And sometimes people feel like that their peers are no longer around, but when
Mhm.
they get into a space with their peer group, they begin to share stories that only they relate to. That
That's
is
right.
so important. And I find like whenever I sit with elderly people, when they're around and they're telling their stories and they just kind of wake up and they be like, girl, do you remember this? Girl, do you
It's
remember that?
fascinating, isn't it?
It is amazing.
It's engaging. And that's where that wisdom comes from when you're older. And that's why you have to age with dignity and independence. It's important. They still have a voice and we can still learn. And that's why our virtual platforms will not just include the fun stuff, but also the educational things, the sharing, so that they can see one another. And I tell you, for our senior wellness center, when they have their monthly talks, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes just with the, hey, how are you doing? Oh, so good to see you. How's so and so? And the director allows that. She just sits back, let them do that. That's their time to get together with everybody because they used to do it every day. So yes, sharing that wisdom is so important, and it's very interesting too.
It
I
is.
love
It's
that. I love that.
amazing.
You know,
And
at this moment, oh, go ahead, Rayceen. Did you
no,
want to say something?
I was thinking, it just hit me. And I was thinking what's so important if we don't talk about it, the importance of the caretaker and the role of the caretaker and the programs you have in place that help caretakers and those who are taking care of their parents who are dealing with dementia and Alzheimer's, and how you have programs just for them to help them heal. And how
Absolutely.
and so how, you know, how is that such for those, how are those caretakers, are they maneuvering through the new experiences and some of the platforms that we talked about, Zoom, are they utilizing this more than ever? Do you feel caretakers are really stepping up?
They are, and I'm so glad you mentioned the caregivers. I used to be a caregiver for my parents. I know you all know people who have been caregivers.
I won.
They are special to me. They are so special because it's a special gift that you've been given, right? To care for someone. And so we have caregiver programs at two of our programs in Seabury Ward 5 and Seabury Ward 6. We receive funding, and I want to thank the Department of Aging and Community Living for their grants, because we have respite programs for the caregivers. We have a caregiver support group, very, very dear to us. And so, yes, they continue to need that support and help, even more than ever, because some of them cannot work or they have to work from home as well as caring for their loved one. And so we have to continue that support, and we're doing that. Our social workers are doing that. Our staff continue to do that. So you are right. Caregivers are just right, just special.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Don, for joining us today. Before I let you go, could you go ahead and share how viewers can, once again, the website, how they can donate, how they can support, and how they can keep up and follow everything that Seabury Resources is doing here in the DC area?
Well, thank you both for this opportunity. Please visit our website, seaburyresources.org, SEABURY, resources.org, to donate and or to volunteer. You can also see us on Facebook, Twitter. It's at Seabury Says, SAYS. And you can also check me out on Twitter at DMQUATTLEBAUM, DM Quattlebaum. Thank you both so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So nice to be with you.
Thank you. Certainly our pleasure. And to our viewers, the links will be in the description. Rayceen, take us out.
And to all of our viewers, thank you for watching.
Bye, everyone.